One of the most interesting US AI tech startups that we have is Perplexity. I've written about them several times on my Substack AI Reset to Zero. I will leave some links in the show notes. But here's why I want to talk about it tonight. The information has a story that's up on the screen that for Google, Challenger, Perplexity, growth comes at a high cost. AI is fundamentally different than any other technology wave, the PC, the internet, mobile, etc. Those have all been very, very high fixed cost businesses where you need to build huge capacity and sell your products to the world. AI is different. You have to do all of that, build AI at scale, infrastructure to serve the intelligence tokens, to make the intelligence tokens for both training the models and for the inference when your mainstream consumers ask questions and interact through AI agents and reasoning and so on. And that variable cost is a killer expense for startups. Perplexity is a US company that has done a very good job of innovating around the user interface for AI and has been going head to head against companies like OpenAI, Google, Apple to a certain extent, and so on. And what I wanted to point out in this article, and I'll put links to this information article in the show notes, they have to spend a lot of money as they grow their users and users use it more. The cost, the variable cost of AI is a hit to them on a number of fronts. And there's a lot of detail here for the financial inclined year. But it's a very important point to highlight that scale is important in AI. So right now, in the what I call the mainframe stage of AI, the advantage goes to the bigger tech companies, the Googles, the OpenAIs, the Microsofts, Amazons, and Meta, Apple, once they really get into the race, etc. But companies like Perplexity also have a big opportunity. Fortunately, because of the private financial markets enthusiasm for the AI sector, companies like Perplexity have been able to raise a fair bit of money at high valuations. They're currently apparently in a negotiation to finalize a round of several $100 million at a $14 billion valuation, which should give them potentially a cash advantage of over $1 billion in the bank after it's done. They apparently have about 850 million or so. However, as they grow in users, that can run down pretty quickly. And the challenge then is to run up your revenues quickly through subscriptions, through advertising. These are all things that Perplexity is working on, but there is a race in the next year or two. In the meantime, they're fundamentally innovating on how to integrate a whole bunch of models, not just from OpenAI, but from Anthropic, others, and create very friendly user interfaces with deep focus on vertical data in these markets. They're also working on their own AI browser called Comet, which should be out at some point later this year. I've written a post about that as well. So it's a very interesting topic. Perplexity is one of the most interesting standalone non-Mag 7 companies, in my view, in the US. Their innovation on the UI UX front has been as interesting as the deep technical innovation from companies in China like DeepSeek, Madison, and so on. So, very vibrant company. I wanted to point out this article, and it's really early days in this AI tech wave, and Perplexity is one to watch. Stay tuned.